In just about 24 hours, these killer clowns are expected to rise up on Halloween night to take over the streets, to raid houses, to take over stores, and so on and so forth. The entire plot, the entire plan is to take over the world on October 31st, which is indeed tomorrow, in just about 24 hours away from the biggest purge, not only in the United States history, but in the world. Well, ladies and gentlemen, of course, we got a chance to talk to a few other people for the final time. We got a chance to talk to Boo Boo the Clown for the final time in the previous video, but in this video, to end the Killer Clown saga with other sources, it's for the final time, our final interview with these two who actually shared their stories and their thoughts of what they believe in the Killer Clowns. Let's take a look. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, we got a chance to talk to not one but two sources for the final time before the Killer Clown Purge expected to happen tomorrow, October 31st on Halloween, which, by the way, in some parts of the world, everyone's going to be celebrating. People are going to be trick-or-treating in the streets, and people are going to be attending social events and Halloween parties and all that and more. However, again, the Killer Clowns are looking to strike at nighttime and finally take over the entire world for what would be the biggest purge in the history of the world. But that's the question, will it happen? Well, we're going to have to find out in just 24 hours, I guess. But nonetheless, I got a chance to talk to two more sources for the final time. In this first one, it's somebody by the name of Tyler. Now, I do want to preface this by saying that this is actually not an interview and more like a story. He got a chance to respond back after he messaged us something about something happening. We asked, please explain the story, and he said, okay, I will. And he said here in this message, anyways, I was sleeping one night and I heard a tap on the window. I thought it was just the wind, but I kept tapping and tapping and tapping, or rather, it kept tapping and tapping and tapping repeatedly. So I looked out the window and I saw a clown throwing rocks at my window. He started to run up to me and I locked all my doors and called the police, and he ran away after that. He also claimed that, quote, I also heard him shouting out something. So this seems to be another sign of a killer clown hoping to raid somebody's house. And again, these killer clowns are stationed not just in the United States across the nation, but across the world. But, you know, it looks like these killer clowns are looking to do it mostly in Canada, and of course, the United States. But nonetheless, I mean, overall, this is completely sickening. I mean, you gotta be kidding me how these killer clowns are trying to scare everybody. Can you imagine poor innocent people trying to sleep, or poor innocent people just trying to live their lives, and all of a sudden at nighttime you hear some tapping and you look out the window, you see a killer clown out there trying to scare you, or a killer clown trying to raid the house. We just noticed it a couple of weeks ago. Remember, it was the killer clowns that invaded that certain person's house as well. So these killer clowns are actually not wasting any time in trying to scare society just before the big purge happening on Sunday. However, the question will become, will it actually become the way they're saying it? Will the purge be exactly the way they're claiming? In other words, will there be 500,000 killer clowns on the rise on Sunday, on different countries all over the world? Will they take over? Or we're going to have to just wait and see. But on the next interview, this is somebody by the name of Deegan. Deegan, of course, got a chance to answer a few of our questions, in which we kicked off the interview by saying and asking, so with Halloween just upon us, what will you do to take precautions and to make sure to stay safe? Deegan replied back saying, well, firstly, I would probably stay in my house, so that's that. Then I would lock all doors and keep my pets safe and just mainly try to survive for the very least. But I'm sure I'll be fine. I know what I'm doing for this coming purge. The next question was, do you think this purge will be enormous? In other words, do you think killer clowns will take over? Deegan replied back saying, well, hearing how Boo Boo has a lot of clowns, like 500,000, I think it'll be enormous, but people are taking a stand. It's the right thing to do. Clowns can't take over this world. They don't even know what they're doing. These clowns are just messed up, and if they're gonna take over, then, well, tell that to the army, because they got the guns and stuff with them. I don't care if the clowns are armed, they need to be defeated once and for all. We then proceeded in the interview by asking, despite the clowns not being anywhere near humans in terms of capabilities, they still can be sneaky and in fact abduct the vulnerable. How important is it, do you think, to acknowledge this fact? Deegan replied back saying, well, I'm highly aware that these clowns are sneaky. They've abducted people throughout the month, well, 2 people so far, but I'm highly aware that people have to be sure about their surroundings. Not everything is not what they seem. I can't bear to walk in the streets and see some random clown come out of nowhere. So people need to make sure their surroundings are clear and maybe bring a weapon just in case. We then asked the question, with that being said, what would your message be for the people who will go out and trick or treat? Or those who will attend social Halloween events? Deegan replied back and answered, well, if people who are seeing this interview and gonna trick or treat, I want them to hear this. If you have kids with you, cancel Halloween for them. It doesn't matter if they get upset. It's for their own safety. Teenagers, if you're going to go out with friends, be prepared and bring a lot of weapons just in case. And adults, bring whatever you have to take down these killer clowns. And to make sure you stay in large groups. You might have a chance, but for those who die while fighting, we're all glad to have you in our lives to fight off. And Boo Boo, if you see this, I wish you the best of luck because you're going to be stopped once and for all. Speaking about Boo Boo, this was the final question. If there's anything you would want to say to the killer clowns, what would it be? Deegan replied back saying, well, there's a lot to say, but I'm just going to say this. Clowns, you're insane, and I think you need to back down now or else you're going to be in a world of pain from the people who are going to kick your behinds. And Boo Boo, I know you're out there. Every year, you plot and you rot even more. I don't care what you're going to do. Your plan will be destroyed. Your clown army doesn't stand a chance to the real army, the police, the government, and everyone who'll fight your army. So clowns, with my question to you, why would you want to hurt innocent people? They've done nothing wrong. I know the answer to that. You're selfish little human beings that doesn't care for anyone else except for themselves or for yourselves. I hope you're happy because you'll be just like the people who will die on Halloween. That's all I have to say. So that was the final question of the interview. And I got to tell you, it looks like Deegan is actually talking a lot of facts here because of the fact that, first off, yeah, these killer clowns, we talked about it over the past couple of weeks. These killer clowns are heartless and they're selfish. They're going to be exploding on Sunday. They're going to be raiding on Sunday because of the fact that in the inside, they are absolutely rageful because of how the world treated them. And listen, they should have never been treated that way. I understand that. But there is absolutely no justification whatsoever that these killer clowns are going to be taking over the world. It is absolutely hogwash. It is nonsense. I'm still flabbergasted over the fact that these guys are planning on doing this, that they're plotting on the biggest purge in the world. Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a huge ride in the entire month. There's only one last thing to do, and that is to wait and see. Halloween, October 31st, will it be the day that the killer clowns officially mark themselves in history? Will it be the day that the killer clowns officially make a name for themselves, trying to reinvent themselves and trying to make a new image of what clowns should be seen as? Killer clowns are going to be wasting little time on Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. But remember, if you're going to be trick-or-treating, or if you're going to be going out in a social event, or at least in a Halloween party or whatever, please, like Deegan said, make sure you're prepared. And please to stay in groups because, you have no idea what's going to be happening. You really have no idea what's going to be happening on Sunday, and to make matters worse, these killer clowns like to be sneaky at times as well. They like to be in groups. They will surround you like a pack of hyenas and just take you apart, abduct you for that. And listen, I just think it's a completely horrible situation. It's an awful situation at that, but nonetheless, though, there are more good people over bad people, so if these killer clowns, in my estimation, I truly believe they're going to be meeting their makers. We're talking about all the human capabilities and all the tanks and of course the fighter jets and the guns, all the different advancements that the army has and the policemen have. So I believe, in my estimation, if there is going to be a purge, the policemen, the army, so on and so forth, and of course the good Samaritans out there will indeed keep us protected because in the end, the good will always win. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as mentioned, there's only one final thing that we got to do, and that's just wait and see on October 31st. We will be documenting what will happen on the 31st at nighttime, so expect one final video concerned to the killer clowns. Nonetheless, everyone stay safe, like, comment, and subscribe. We will see you next time. here, part of the Gaming Weekly. Thanks for joining us.